All rights are reserved by the respective owners of this podcast. You can receive up to a $5,000 fine for pirating or illegally distributing this podcast. Cue the music.
Welcome to the Bitter Pineapple Podcast. We are joined here today by our esteemed host, Andrew McBride, along with topic analysts Aaron Palmer and Christian Levitt.
Thank you, Henry, for that warm introduction.
It is a pleasure to be here today.
Likewise, I feel truly honored to be welcomed here today onto the prestigious, world-renowned Bitter Pineapple Podcast.
Since the advent of modern technology, the pace of our everyday lives has sped up dramatically. As a result, humans are constantly attempting to do multiple things at once. Aaron, what are your thoughts on how humans cope with this increase in the pace of our everyday lives?
Yesterday, I was reading a study conducted by the American Psychological Association, and it was determined that it is extremely difficult for humans to perform multiple tasks simultaneously while remaining focused. However, humans can switch rapidly between multiple tasks, but this causes a sharp decrease in productivity and effectiveness. The bottom line is, humans cannot effectively multitask. Multitasking simply does not exist.
What?
Henry, shut up.
As I was going to say, keeping in mind Aaron's analysis of the multitasking study, I've heard that texting while driving, a common form of multitasking, is not fully illegal in several states. Christian, would you care to elaborate?
Actually, I don't really have anything to say on this topic.
What?
No, I'm just messing with you. I actually have a lot to say.
Okay then, go right on ahead.
There is a partial ban on texting while driving in Texas and Missouri. And in Montana...
No one lives there.
And in Montana and Arizona, there are no restrictions on texting while driving.
Aaron, is texting while driving really that bad?
Andrew, I'm glad you asked. Nearly 330,000 injuries occur each year from accidents caused by texting while driving. 1 out of every 4 car accidents in the United States is caused by texting and driving. Texting while driving is 6 times more likely to cause an accident than driving drunk. Cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes each year. Texting while driving is a dangerous habit that plagues our roadways. It should be illegal in every state.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty bad. Simple yes would have sufficed. Christian, is this opinion controversial?
Well, Andrew, Aaron is actually not alone in his deduction. In fact, 94% of drivers support a ban on texting while driving.
Knowing how dangerous it is, why do nearly 1/3 of Americans still admit to doing it?
That is an excellent question, but I request a commercial break because my throat is feeling quite parched at the moment. Sorry.
It's not really time yet, but I guess we can cut to one. We'll be right back after a few words from our sponsors.
Have you ever been injured in a texting while driving related car crash and seek financial compensation? Call the Levitt Defense Attorneys at 123-456-7890. That is 123-456-7890 because you know you can always leave it to Levitt.
When you're walking down the streets of central London and you realize, good grief, it's tea time! You glance across the street and see a tiny little corner shop selling a bottle of Palmer tea. 10 minutes later, your throat feels like that of an oasis. Palmer tea, God save the Queen.
And we're back.
As I was saying before those splendid advertisements, I believe that people text and drive because they believe that nothing bad can happen to them, and that it will always happen to someone else. Unfortunately, we are all someone else to someone else. It could happen to any of us.
We are all someone else to someone else. That's interesting. That actually, that reminds me of kind of the stereotypical mentality of like a teenager. They're the invincible teenager or something like that.